You're here today. It's a beautiful day, autumn afternoon in Seoul. We are on the roof of our church building. We have established this patio on the roof of our church building, and not too many people know about it yet. This is a wonderful place to have coffee or to have small group meetings. And so today I am with Megan, who read my book, the manuscript of my book, and she will ask me some questions that she has about the book. The book is called Save Europe, Reintroducing Christianity to Post-Christian Europe. It's not an easy topic. It's a specialized topic. And some people might ask, you're not a European. Why are you so concerned about European matters? I'm concerned about it not because it's European, but because it has to do with the gospel of Jesus Christ. It has to do with the church of Jesus Christ. And as a faithful servant of Jesus Christ, who told us to go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. And the European continent has become a great mission field in the 21st century. When we are talking about unreached people and a new mission field, we're not just talking about the mountains of Asia or the jungles of Amazon. We have the same kind of mission field in Paris, in Berlin, in Amsterdam, in London, in Central, Eastern, Southern, Western Europe, which used to be the center of Christian civilization for over 1,000 years. But in this day and age, it's not like before. Christianity is still present in the form of culture, tradition, heritage, memory, art, architecture, music, literature. And yet Christ does not dwell in people's hearts. So as Jesus spoke to the church in Laodicea, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Whoever listens to my voice and opens the door, I will come in, and I will sup with him, and he with me." Over there, Jesus was not knocking on the door of an unbeliever. He was knocking on the church door, the church door of Laodicea. As Martin Luther nailed 95 theses on the church door in Germany, I believe that Jesus is knocking on the door of the European church, saying, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and sup with him, and he with me." And it is in this spirit that I wrote this book, Save Europe, Reintroducing Christianity to Post-Christian Europe. And it's this reason that I am starting my missionary project in Europe. And Megan and I will be talking about some of the issues, subject matters, some questions that arise from the book. And Megan, it's good to have you here. I really appreciate that you came to speak to us today. And before you jump into your difficult questions, what was your first impression of reading this book?
Well, Pastor Kim, first of all, thank you for having me here today. I personally really enjoyed reading your book. It was a very difficult subject for me, honestly, but I feel like you did a very good job of explaining from the very beginning what you're going to be dealing with, and what you hope to get out of this book.
Right.
So I think not just me, but all your other readers are going to find it very helpful to to know about the subject matter,
Right.
and think about something that they have never thought about before.
Right.
So we really appreciate you taking the time and effort to write this book for all of us.
Thank you.
Yep. So here I have in front of me some of the questions that I prepared after reading this book, and they're kind of long, so bear with me.
Sure.
And if you don't mind, let me begin with my first question.
Okay.
So first of all, I'd like to ask you why you decided to write this book. I know you did explain in your book that you hope to offer encouragement and vision to the European Christians specifically, who need them through this book. But I think it would be very meaningful for the readers to hear more closely about how and why you came to a conclusion that such book was necessary.
When Christianity began, it began at the beginning. People wrote the New Testament. The writers wrote the 4 Gospels, and Paul, Peter, James, Jude, they all wrote books which are included in the New Testament. And whenever God does something, He speaks. When God began, He started the people of Israel, the chosen people. He did it by speaking to Abraham. And Abraham followed the word of the Lord. And faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Christ. When God was going to save the people of Israel from their captivity in Egypt, God began by speaking to Moses. God spoke to Moses His intentions, His purpose, and His instruction to Moses, and what God wanted to speak to the Pharaoh of Egypt and to the people of Egypt. Same with Martin Luther. When Martin Luther was beginning the great Reformation of Christianity in the Middle Ages, he began by writing the 95 Theses, meaning 95 questions that he wanted to ask the church. And these were theological questions and questions concerning Christian practice, Christian faith. And these 95 Theses triggered the great Christian Reformation. I'm not comparing myself to Moses or Abraham or Martin Luther, but as I jump into the mission field of Europe to reintroduce the gospel message to European people, I had to first write down my beliefs, my vision, and the reasons for what I do in a book, so that it will be clear, first of all, to me. At least I can write down my beliefs in a coherent way so that it makes sense to me and it makes sense to other people. And so the book is like a declaration of my vision, the objectives of my missionary project. Anybody who wants to understand why I do, what I believe, and what I hope to preach and teach, they will discover them from this book. So the book contains my visions, my reasons, my beliefs, my understanding of what happened in Europe, and my proposal for what we need to do to bring about changes, and all those ideas are in this book.